Have a lot of those dashes. Kanavi is coming on a flank here. Realm Warp coming through. He's going to cut him off. The hacker is here as well. Kanavi needs to get over the wall. Tidal Wave coming out. He gets locked down. Bubble out. And Shallow, who actually gets another kill for himself. He's 4-1 now on the Fiora and has the Hold Breaker.
How the heck did that work? Not gonna lie, JDG, you've really got to start calming down at some point. Your ability to play this game and this composition is typically you push up, you deny FPX options for like even entering their own jungle. Once you start getting crazy, things get a little bit hard to recover. FPX have been given a lot more room to maneuver than potentially they should do. Like, you look at that last play, you kind of forget that it's, you know, almost like a 10,000 gold advantage towards JDG.
Get a little bit of damage back. Cares on the back line. Missing should go down, but engage from Knight and the damage from Ruler. And there ain't no hope left today for FPX. And you're looking at some cindering ashes of the Phoenix.
JDG, they know everything is going to happen around this. They have the vision. They understand FPX are looking for an engage. They just don't care. They have the gold. They have the power to fight. And Ruler, seeing that Missing is going down, chooses to step forward into the fray, throws out bullet storms, which FPX absolutely cannot handle. And just as we were talking about...
It's a 10,000 gold lead now, and it's not even 15 minutes in the game.
I can't believe this. I absolutely can't believe this. This composition is meant to be not as strong in the early game.
Punched down on FPX!
Call this Phoenix Icarus. They flew too close to the sun. JDG, this was unceremonious. We thought they couldn't end. They stick around a little longer. Fastest game of the split, and it is not even close.
18 minutes and 35 seconds in. Fastest game in the LPL Spring Split, and JDG make mincemeat of FPX.
How did they do this with a comp that is not meant to be as strong in the early game as their first game composition? This team, you cannot give them these laning advantages. I think serious props to me go towards Knight on his Silas. He had a couple of awkward games on it a little earlier in the split. Uncharacteristically for Knight, because he is one of historically the very best mechanical players on that champion. Level 1 already makes what feels like a game-breaking play.
Get over with the dash over the wall.
Gets away alive. Was wondering if he was going to look for a kick turnaround, but afraid of maybe that dash.
Oh, they're going in. Look how much damage On is taking from LP. Another one bites the dust, and LP's axes are looking for blood. Flash kill, another double, and it's off to the races for the killing.
Oh, call him, just take the L out of his name at this point. He's handed it to Elk and On for another time. 4 kills on the Draven. Last game, it was Scout's turn to do the carrying, but the Draven's online. LP is here to play.
Taking the Draven that Elk tried to pull off last game, and they are oppressing them bot lane, but it's Hung and LP's quick decision-making that make the difference.
And this is why the last play we were talking about saying, yeah, you know, you've killed the Caitlyn Lux, they lose a lot of their value after they die for the first time. They don't have summoners. I mean, you see that last flash over there, but I mean, they started that play off because Lux didn't have the flash. You can't avoid that. And the very important thing here from BLG is that they are the ones kind of deciding when the play is made. Elk has...
Oh my god! Nice. Oh, it goes golden. Hung, you got to try to do something here if he can save him, but the headshot's too big. Elk, you're going to go down to Timbers. Woo! That was so close. That was an angry bear. Here comes the whirling death. It's not going to go through. Nicely blocked from On.
Plays blocker and saves his AD carry. These teams very much buying into the skirmishes across the map. And as we were just kind of talking about before this, very important that BLG are the ones deciding where the play is made. If they slow down for a moment, there's a chance that a flank teleport from Zika comes in. If that cannon gets onto the backline, if you manage to combo that up with the Annie ultimate as well, the Tibbers on the backline, BLG don't look nearly as close as they do in this game. This was Scout trying to just stop some replays, some backs, and maybe takes one more turret shot than he really should do. That turnaround is insane. Yes, they have to stop the big play from happening in the first place.
Oh, Elk. Oh, no, Elk, though. You cannot get caught out like that.
You cannot be caught slacking for a moment in this game. Caught overstaying. Tarzan combos onto that. Luckily, no second Herald or something like that to throw down. Of course, it's way too late in the game for that one. But LNG, they push in mid lane. They kill the AD carry. They're gonna head towards Baron. They have to look for the turn here.
They can force the fight, right? I mean, they don't have the slicing Maelstrom, but I think they can pull back with Scouts, Tibbers, and even a big, Dragon Kick.
Oh, that's the hook.
Double flashes out, knockback onto Hung, but yeah, LNG, they're just waiting for that trap to be sprung here. Everfrost actually connects. Tarzan just wanting to find that big connection. Shun not able to get the Fault Breaker into the pit. 2,000 health, but there they go into the fight. Nice cease and desist. Tarzan's back. He's dead. Final spark comes out, but a big slicing maelstrom on the back line. And Zika, he is not enough just yet because Ben will not let this one go. And Yagao, he's the one left, but he does not have a saving grace to his name, as one more ability would seal the deal. You've got the ace in the hole from Elk from behind, but it's not enough. A double kill for LNG.
It's windy weather, it's stormy weather. Zika gets the play that BLG have been trying to deny him the entire game. It's not, however, going to lead to the Baron. It's a lot of kills, but it hasn't broken the game just yet. Honestly, seriously good play from BLG to stop Tarzan getting a big play. The Vi goes through the Lee Sin kick, which means that actually the Vi manages to stay in the play. But you do manage to stay right in the area.
Nice flash over the wall from Scout. They get a little bit of damage from Yagao. Yagao is trying to bring them back from the brink, but can he do it? Scout is gone, and Yagao picks up a double kill, and Tarzan goes down too. He is the Spider-Man that is holding together BLG.
And at the turning of the tide, it is Yagao which saves his team. BLG, they'd eaten a couple of bad fights back to back, and even in that fight, Tarzan gets the kick onto Elk. The AD carry is gone very early into that fight, but there's enough damage from the arrayed members of BLG. Bin in the backline, Yagao firing through. Enough of these cues. The threaded volleys to get anything. That's the volley. That's the ultra. It's gone already. It's gone already. The way the observers did that, I was wondering if it's going to come back for something more, but BLG fighting it back from the brink. Okay, let's try and catch out the key moments here. Hook misses. Kick onto Elk. Gets right into the Nautilus passive, into the Nautilus ult. As soon as you see the Caitlyn out of things, normally you think that's kind of game over, but actually, Shun has done a great job.
They don't have much left. He's trying to get some damage on the Scout, but now the counter-strike, the shield bow, it's not enough. Wait, he goes down, Scout. He can't find the damage. Can he get Yagao? But he gets bursted out, and that's an ace for BLG.
That is absolutely insane from BLG. How the heck have they gone away with that one? It felt like it was the real thread the needle moment. Teleport way behind enemy lines. We've been waiting for this the entire time. But they don't group up onto the cannon ultimate. BLG, they managed to retreat in an orderly way so Zika doesn't get maximum value out of this ultimate. Maybe they smelled something was off. And LP actually doesn't have the easiest team fight. He's zoned out at first. There's an incredibly clutch Lux Q comes right after this point too. It lands in a couple of seconds right there. If LP is allowed to walk forward, land one more axe, Bin is down, Yagao probably follows him. It is these key, clutch moments which are solving things for BLG. It's hero moments.
Now it's a 4v5. LNG got to fight their way out of this one, but there ain't no fighting tonight. The Everfrost comes through clutch. Tibbers comes back in desperation, but LNG will be left for naught, and a double kill for Elk.
LNG, they've tried to thread the needle, but it is just not going their way. BLG masterfully controlling areas of the map, making sure they're not under threat from the huge teamfight combo of LNG. And after how dominant the first game was, BLG, this is a breath of fresh air. Particularly Shun found it so hard to impact the first game. Same with Yagao. This mid-jungle duo, though, going back 9-1-6, 7-3 and 12. They have absolutely clapped back.
And all for naught, and the storm has come for LNG as their health bars cannot stay in the fight. We said it's rated sideways, but it's rating all Billy Gaming. A triple kill, and BLG put the finishing touches on game number 2.
An absurd team fighting performance from BLG brings us back to even. We're going the distance in our second series of the day. Bring on game 3.
We won't go to the most kills in LPL Spring Split just yet, but it is almost there, and we are almost at the culmination of this day of games. What a way to bring us into Game 3. A non-existent felt like BLG in Game 1 just smacks LNG up the mouth.
And I don't even know who you credit first on BLG. Probably Yagao, stabilizing the map, using the Weaver's Wall to turn up the plays, punishing this bot lane. Towards top or towards mid. Scout goes in, he just uses E.
A little bit dangerous here. That's the Vault Breaker charged up. The flash doesn't hit. Scout will flash afterwards.
You gotta be cringing.
They're coming
a little
for this.
bit of shot after that. That could have been such a big moment. It is only flash for flash. You get a kill there. You manage to force Scout out of lane before he can push this in as well. Those small advantages can mean so much. Tarzan battle warding, spotting out where Shun is, so very important. LNG wanting this early
literally
advantage,
back again, though. Again. Oh, doesn't connect that Vault Breaker again. Shun just trying to get the right distance down early on. But how perfect is this, Nightmare? Literally. 2v2 mid lane, that's all we need to look at.
They get the mid lane turret out of that Herald, and that's going to be very important for late game. Once you get that mid lane out of turret down, very easy to kind of get yourself the vision you need. Bin flashed in front of
really good flash from Bin, and that's a solo kill to the top laner of Billy.
Gets himself some Shuriman fried chicken, takes down Scout in that top side. Just doesn't expect him to be hanging about in that brush. BLG gets something back, 2 kills onto Bin's Fiora, and how good is he at that champion? BLG, they have plenty of power spikes to play around themselves. LNG, with a brief moment of power after that Herald fight, as we said, they really got a lot out of that, but they have to capitalize. You have that outer turret down in that mid lane. You have to push forward into the enemy jungle, get some of that vision
shock
down.
Laser across 3 members, and it's a front to back now.
Zika
Shun tries to go in. They're back and forth, but LP, the lightning is starting to trickle in, and the LNG thunder starting to brew.
LNG, they call off the chase from Zika in the back end of that because the Baron is alive. Get control of that side of the map. Jungler's dead. Mid laner dead for BLG. BLG, they overstay their welcome and they're going to get punished so heavily after managing that dragon fight so well.
That's the second item completion now for Scout. He just got the Zanyas. They are on to the Baron, pushing the pace of the game against BLG. Can they make it in? Can they make a miracle happen here? He gets taken out. The spear to the heart from Scout.
And who else standing at the end but LNG's mid-jungle? One of the very best in the league. Scout finding another pick.
Beautiful stuff, and they lay down for an alley-oop. And as you said, Scout and Tarzan, they truly are heads above the rest of this league.
And Elk, again, trying to find his way to do some damage, but he's on his own in the front line, in the very back line. Uses his stopwatch for as most as time as he can.
This was huge.
But this was huge, yeah, and that stopwatch buys time. It's what it does. But when you are buying time, you're not doing damage. And you're not able to get onto Scout. You're not able to close down all of the damage threats.
Trying to make it happen. Yagao gets engaged. Elk is on the back line. Yagao is down, and Elk is the only one left. He gets pushed down, and his GA will not save him today. You better be calling some kind of angel, because BLG will go down yet again.
The angels aren't answering. Elk's at heaven's door. He's not there to defend the Nexus, and LNG. It was a rocky early game in this one, but they have seen themselves through the tough tides of this series. Losing game 2, BLG asking questions, but they answer resoundingly with their mid-game in game 3 and see themselves 7-1.
Bin trying to make something happen here with On, but it's a last-ditch effort for a paltry prize. As an 8-1-9 Scout, a 6-1-11 LP, and a 4-0-14 Tarzan cement their lead in the LPL and cement their devastation of BLG. Shun's just trying to make something happen here. On is by time proxying the wave, but it's all for naught.
Well, I mean, On has done a bit of a Marin, for those of you who remember. His famous play way back in the day, held the minions up. Not managed to quite kill the wave, but despite all of our, big lines, big words, BLG do stay alive. They have managed to keep them away from the Nexus, and BLG will definitely take that over losing the series then and there. They're still in it, despite being much further behind again. Full builds being hit by so many people across the board on LNG. BLG, one last crack at it, but it's still not any easier than before.
Yeah, I mean, the Baron should just go down here for LNG. Don't think there's any real contest to come out from BLG. Shun is not even on the map anymore. And with that Baron, even with some of the scaling factors coming into fruition here for BLG, some of the items for Yagao specifically, it's not nearly going to be enough, it feels like, from the oppression that LNG are putting out.
Receive 10% less has value at this point. It's just more stats that BLG have to worry about. It's the last this Baron buff comes into push it.
Desperation here. BLG want to find a flank, but they've already lost Yagao as the hammer comes down for LNG. They might lose one back. There's a little bit of pushback, but BLG, they push once, and LNG kicks straight through their face. There's a double kill for LP, and this is a game win, a series win for LNG. They over 7.
That was the last chapter to be written. Took him a couple of attempts at the Nexus. An epilogue, if you will, but it is still the same ending we expected after that mid-game. Three-game series going to the side of LNG, 2-1. Last Nexus falling in their favor. But BLG, they don't leave feeling bad about this series, I don't think. They will feel regretful probably for losing it, of course. Now ending at 4-4. The 50-50 team right split down the middle. They gave good games to LNG, who we have had a lot of praise for before, particularly this mid-jungle. In that game too, were outshone, actually, by BLG. They did a really good job of holding them to account, team fighting incredibly well.